everyone, it's your girl Coco Chanel back with another makeup tutorial video. Today's video is a soft glam full face Christmas look, and for those of you who are not into the loud colorful looks that I usually do for Fun Face Friday, this is something softer for a nice family outing or Christmas outing that you might want to try. This is the perfect video for you. So before I get on with the rest of the magical things that are going to happen in this video, I like to prime my face before I get started. Sometimes I set it with some spray. Feel free to judge me in the comments, whatever. I know it's weird, but it's a rarity that I do a full face. And when I do it, I like to do it this way. And after it's done drying, I like to start with foundation. Yes. I like to start with my foundation and apply that first thin layer of foundation, actually my only layer of foundation in this video, because it is a soft glam full face look, and I found out what works better for me is to apply my foundation first and then get on with the rest of the magical events that are going to happen. So I like to use a sponge for softer glam looks. I also do use a foundation brush sometimes when I apply my foundation as well, but for this video we're going to use the sponge a lot because I really enjoy using this sponge, and it's a great sponge that I'm sure I got from like some drugstore, or maybe it was a gift, but it's wonderful. And after I'm done with that, I prime my eyeballs with eyeshadow primer after I put on the foundation. Yes, if you think I'm a psycho, feel free to comment. And after I'm done with that, I go back in with my sponge and just make sure everything is copacetic. And then I go on to continuing my face, starting with my brows. The only thing I do with my brows is color the shape of my brow in with my magical drugstore or beauty supply store eyebrow pencil. Nothing too wild. I just go over my brows and brush them as I do them. I will be happy to include do a full brow tutorial for those of you who would like to see how I do my brows, because you won't be able to see the full thing in this magical holiday spirited video. Color over and brush, color over and brush. After I'm done with that, I like to conceal with of course a light concealer, and usually once I'm done with this part that's not included in this video, I like to use my concealer buffer to buffer out the concealer that I've just added to my face. Like I said, I'll be happy to include a full brow tutorial for those of you who would like to see it, because later in the video I do something a little magical, and I'll be happy to share my secrets with you. After I'm done buffering out my eyeballs, I of course add a flesh color shadow to my eyes just to kind of begin the look that I want. The color was a soft brown from MAC, I believe. And then once I'm done with that, I went in with a brown from either one of the palettes that I have, a Jaclyn Hill palette or the MacBook palette. They have a few browns on there that I like to go ahead and use and apply to the lid of my eyeball and even the crease and above the crease. I'm just working that in, working the shadow in, making sure these browns do pop for this full face. So it's not going to be too dark, but you'll definitely be able to see it. Just have fun with it. If you do try it, let me know in the comments. Let me know how you do. Send pictures. I want to see if anybody can master this simple look. And like I say, sometimes less is more, so you can go ahead and add whenever you need to. I've definitely mentioned it in one of my other videos, just always being able to go back and touch up whatever you've done to your face is better than starting all over from one small mistake. So after I'm done with that, I'm going to continue with the rest of my face. Before I went over with my eyebrows with a darker concealer, and then the inside, as you can see right now, I'm working this lighter concealer up and over my brows. And again, if you would like to see an actual eyebrow tutorial, please feel free to comment and let me know, because I'll be happy to provide. Once that is done and over with, I'm going over with my concealer buffer, buffering the inside of my brows, which is important, and even above, nice circular motions. I have a bigger buffer, but you'll see me use that later on when I continue with my actual full face. I use these brushes throughout the process of doing my makeup because blending is very important, and I make sure that everything is blended well on my face. You can see the transitions beginning to happen, but you'll see me use these brushes a lot. And again, adding when I want to is better than taking away. So I'm just adding some more brown on top of my actual lid, which I think I just kind of carried that brown over my crease and up, and didn't really cover my lid too much. Wow, silly mistake. Anyway, continuing to the rest of my face. For contouring, I'm going to start with this lighter concealer. Not too much, because this is soft glam. Friendly reminder. And get that on, and we're going to use our handy dandy sponge. You saw me smell that, right? I did use some setting spray before. I sprayed my sponge with setting spray before I began blending the concealer on my face. I don't know if anyone has seen anybody do that, but if you think I'm a psycho still, feel free to comment. But sometimes, you know, the sponge is already wet. And just spray it with some setting spray, so this makeup knows not to play with me every day. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. So after I'm done doing this part, just making sure all of these different lines are blended and meeting well with each other. I go in and use my setting powder right away, but I just use it and I put it on. I don't let it sit there for a while. I literally put on the powder as I'm putting it on. I don't know if that made sense, but I'm using the powder and I'm making sure it's getting on those lighter parts of my face without letting it sit for 10 or 15 minutes. I think that's really weird. I think it's a waste sometimes, but some people do it, so more power to you. Woo! Right. So after I'm done setting my powder on my face, there is one of my favorite brushes, a face shape brush, where I like to dust off the excess set powder and make sure it's setting in my skin. Like I said, I don't leave it on there for 10 or 15 minutes. I just put it on, make sure it's on the proper areas, and then I blend it in, blend it out. Continuing with the contouring, just down the bridge of my nose, of course, just some contour, nothing too extravagant. It is a soft glam, so you will be able to see the change, but it won't be too drastic. So nothing too dark or too heavy. Just some light motions just down the bridge of your nose, or however you contour your nose. Like I always say, just have fun with it. And then, of course, my cheekbones underneath. Not too much, not too much. A simple line will do for now until we blend it in. And then we're gonna blend it in. Just blend it in up and down, round and round. And since this is a soft glam, I'm weird, so I like to contour and then add my face powder. Some people do their face powder before they contour. More power to you. If you have a different way that you do your face, feel free to let me know in the comments and I'll be happy to try it. If you have a different routine, I would love to know about it. So next I'm gonna line my eyeballs, and then you see the word smudge at the bottom. We're gonna smudge them at the end underneath the eye. We'll get to that magical piece in a moment. Now I'm using a brown eyeliner pencil. I like to use brown for softer looks because it looks more natural. Now the eye definitely looks like it's lined, but it's not heavy, it's not dark like it would be usually with a black pencil or any other kind of darker pencil you may use on your eyeballs. I just like to use brown because I'm just into this definition here, where you can see it and you know it's there, but it's not heavy. So going in with my little smudger, just smudging that pencil in, because I already took care of my under eye face. Time to take care of my actual under eye. You guys know I love hooking my under eye up, so this is all we did with her today. And this is where the magic happens. You know, I need some pop of color somewhere, so I threw some color in my teardrop, and that color just happens to be green. It's a frosty green. I didn't name this color, it's actually named something else, but I'm gonna call it a frosty green. Yes. And then even with that color in that teardrop and that area right there, it makes that brown pop out even more. So, like I said, just have fun with it. Magic. Oh, it's time to blend in the rest of the face. So I just finished the eyes, and there's my favorite blending brush, just blending in everything that I put on my face so far, the powder, the setting powder, the contour. Like I said, I like to go in with my favorite blending brushes throughout the process of doing my makeup. Soft glam looks and even heavy glam looks, stage glam looks. Now this is some blush. Now I don't want red cheeks, I want red cheekbones. So just a little bit of color there, a little bit of blush color there will do us just. And like I said, sometimes you just have to go back in and fix something or make sure something is looking the way you want to make it look before you continue. This is the bronzer that I'm using. I say bronzer, I meant bronzer. And then the finishing touches, making sure the eyes are looking the way I want them to look. And then, you know, I can't go anywhere without making sure my eyes are finished for real. So I add a little bit of highlight on top of there. Nice little frosty gold, nothing too major. But just a little something. It's Christmas, right? So I am going to use this beautiful red lippy that I got from one of my great friends. It looks so pretty. I'm obsessed with it, but I don't know if I like it in this light. But this is your soft glam look for the holidays. It looks so much better in the sun. Everyone be safe. Happy holidays. Happy New Year.